transits and constructions of gender within the health system, the right of the free development of the personality. For trans people in the field of health, they move away from the institutional and take the public into the experience of other civil rights because the Certificate of Gender Dysphoria in Psychiatry endorses this in other areas such as the right to work and military notebook access, plastic surgery in any hospital, and even at work. The division between mental and physical health is evident in barriers to access to health. What is meant by a good accompaniment to the transit? Build bridges between institutions and organizations to create a link between medical institutions. Guide of recommendations in healthcare for trans people in new research. Articulate actions to create conditions that improve the quality of life of trans people. Synergies to develop a process of accompaniment and advice to trans people from medical institutions. Therapeutic groups and social organizations which contribute to living the gender and the body in a way quiet, joyful, and dignified. Transgender people should be able to choose or not. The accompaniment in mental health. Goals. 1. Articulate institutions to provide comprehensive care to the trans people in the framework of the exercise of human rights. 2. Provide a space of knowledge and recognition which allows the construction of new instances of research. 3. Unify the roots and logical frameworks in comprehensive care for transgender people. 4. To prevent other problems in public health such as self-medication, empirical corporal transformations by empirical methods.
Sí.
¿Qué le duele?
El alma.
Pero para dolores del alma no necesita un médico. Entonces, si solo le duele el alma, no le puedo recetar nada.
Enfermera.
Hola. No te preocupes que todo va a estar bien.
¿Cómo? No le entendí.
Que no te preocupes que todo va a estar bien.
Ah. ¿Y para qué es esto, enfermera?
Tú tranquilo que yo sé lo que hago.
Este es un procedimiento de rutina. Todos tienen que pasar por lo mismo si se quieren hacer ese tipo de operaciones. Entonces...
¿Usted de qué me está hablando?
De la operación.
¿Qué me va a hacer?
Tranquila. Ay, que te ve.
¿Y esto para qué es? No, yo no me quiero poner esto. ¿Para qué es eso, doctora?
Tú viniste por algo y yo no te voy a hacer otra cosa. Solo lo que tú quieres.
One, identification of access limits of eligibility. Process of training and evaluation. Evaluate the applicability of the process to the person with the characteristics of the particular risks and benefits in informed consent. Recommendation, informed knowledge. It is understood that there are people who are not trained or interested in carrying out the transit within the health system due to lack of documentation. Generate alternatives. To access the health system, the person must be appropriate, readable, and ready to perform mental and bodily process a will to guide for over 18 years. Accompaniment and psychological evaluation. Evaluate the eligibility and construct alternatives depending on the particular case of the person. Social environment and emotional affection in addition to monetary income. Recommendations, inform and give the person the time to make the decision. Respecting but not imposing a rhythm within the guide. Encourage participation in support groups and family specialists, including in a virtual way. A psychological intervention to the support network of the person and the presence of 2 specialists in mental health, psychology and psychiatry, in order to support the person in decision-making. Rule out other conditions by making a differential diagnosis. Trained professionals to avoid re-evaluations, re-pathologizations based on non-stereotyped valuation tools. Having a flexible gender construct that is understood as a spectrum and not as something binary and heteronormative gender. Provide the option and not the imposition of processes of psychotherapeutic accompaniments for all ages, or people who have psychosocial difficulties related to their transits or other unspecified condition.